Good evening, sir.
Hey Parjat, good evening.
Hi everyone, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Ma'am, good evening, sir.
Parjat, please adjust your camera so you can be the central focus. You're still going in a tangent. Please adjust that. Hi Rudra, how are you?
And thank you, sir. And you?
I am depressed as always. So thank you. Let me ask the whereabouts of the remaining participants. कहाँ गए ये लोग? एक मिनट रुक जाओ. We have Poojan and Yash with us. So I am like home alone today. Wife has gone out with some friends to party, and she has left me behind. This is the tragedy.
Nice party. Great party you are having, sir.
Great party I am having it myself. See, I've got this wonderful bhujia I've got for myself, right? And then I'll after the session is over, I'm planning to have some wine and relax and cool. Then I have a meeting at 12 o'clock. At 12, I have some meeting to wrap up. Anyways, so चलता रहता है. Yes.
Hi Rudra, hi Vinay, hi Parijat, hi Poojan, hi Yashashwini.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
You can call me Parnika, no need to call me ma'am.
So very nice. So I think I'll give you all a heads up with the session. So Parnika is here. First of all, Parnika ma'am, welcome to our lovely show. This is a field
Thank you,
where we are preparing all the MBA aspirants for the next round, that is the interview. And a little heads up about Parnika. Parnika is currently working as an independent consultant with EY, Ernst & Young. And थोड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग कहानी है पर्णिका की. कानपुर चलते हैं. आज से हम थोड़ा रिवाइंड करते हैं. कानपुर चलते हैं 3 साल पहले की बात है. ये वही है लड़की, आपको मैं बता भी रहा था, पर्णिका, जो मुझसे कहती थी कि मुझे यही बोलना है, मैं यही बोलूंगी इंटरव्यू में. और उसने वही बोला, उसने वही बोल के सिलेक्शन भी किया है. यू रिकॉल दैट थिंग?
yes, I do.
No, all of them. Yashi, you recall that?
Yes.
Yes. She's the stubborn, she's the hothead, ziddi, and then again what she says, she actually does. 3 years back, she just came out of classroom. Suddenly she bumped. Said this, I really want to make it happen. I don't know, मैं समझ नहीं पा रही हूँ, थोड़ा उलझन सी हो रही है. मैथ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, इंग्लिश समझ में नहीं आ रही है, कॉम स्किल भी थोड़ा हिला हुआ है, उतना अच्छा नहीं है. Then इसको देख के लगा नहीं कि यार ये इतना serious aspirant है, because every third person is a CAT aspirant, and then you don't take it seriously. As a mentor, I also had some prejudice, and I also judged her in the first glance. Then she convinced me somehow. She kept on, she kept in touch, and she kept on pinging me, bothering me. Sir, please यहाँ help कर दीजिए, वहाँ help कर दीजिए, help me with my English, with my maths, my DILR. Somehow she managed DILR. English में थोड़ी इसको मैंने help कर दी, बाकी she was smart. Now, one fine day, I realized that she actually qualified CAT and she has good percentile. And now she has a call from some IIMs. And then she realized that she has some potential. She can actually crack it. First, she was sad. She came with a box of chocolates to me in this coaching center. And she said, कि सर क्या हो पाएगा? मैंने कहा हाँ पूरी उम्मीद है हो जाएगा, टेंशन मत लो. And now she tells me, सर मेरा एक फैंसी है कि मुझे अपना मेकअप और लाइन ऑफ मेकअप खोलना है. I want to open my own makeover salons and I want to launch my own makeup brand. अब मैंने कहा थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. पढ़ने का ऐसी बात मत करो. जब लोग बात कर रहे हैं आईटी की बात कर रहे हैं, एफएमसीजी की बात कर रहे हैं, एफएनबी की बात कर रहे हैं, नए स्टार्टअप्स की बात कर रहे हैं, तो यू टॉकिंग अबाउट मेकअप, आर यू सीरियस? सो थोड़ा सा ना मेल ईगो आता है आदमी का. अब कोई लड़की ऐसी बातें करे एम्बिशियस, तो कभी कभार मेल्स हिल जाते हैं. बट दिस इज द गर्ल, शी इज द ओनली woman I know so far that she actually broke the prejudice I had. And she said, "No, sir, this is the honest thing I want to say. I really want to convince the individual on the same ground that I really want to have my own makeup line." I said, "Okay, then let's go ahead." Then I also studied along with her. हम लोगों ने कुछ 3-4 चीजें पढ़ी about Maybelline, Revlon. मुझे ही पढ़ना पड़ा इसके लिए. इसमें मैंने इनपुट्स दिए और इसने अल्टीमेटली वो इंटरव्यू में वही बोला. इसने उससे पूछा भी किया था अल्टीमेटली, एंड इसने बोला हाँ मुझे वही बोलना है और वही करना भी है. So I think all in all, Parnika is a dynamic, seasoned professional. She knows how to get her ways done. And today she's here. She's here to guide you all. She's here to help you all, handhold you all, so that you also qualify the interviews, right? So, ma'am, we welcome you to the session. And first of all, the protocol is I would request you all to please बारी-बारी introduce yourself to Parnika. अपना परिचय आप मैडम को दें और अपने बारे में छोटा सा इन्फॉर्मेशन मैम को दें कि आप क्या करते हैं, आप कहाँ से हैं. Just a small heads up, like small elevator pitch. Yeah. Okay. So I'll start with Yashi first.
So, hello, ma'am. I stay in Kanpur, and I completed my BBA last year, and right now I'm preparing. I was preparing for CAT the whole year. I I, I like to read a lot of books, and I like to paint a lot. And just like you, my aspiration is also to have that someday, have a makeup line someday. So,
Hi, Shashini. So
yeah,
you don't need to call me
that's
ma'am. So in fact, in interviews, if you will go for the interviews, it would be better if you call the interviewers by name, not sir and ma'am, because
नहीं, अभी
that
अभी
is
I'm
something that
sorry,
happens in
I'll
professional
correct
and
you.
corporate.
अभी उस कल्चर में आया नहीं ये लोग, अभी इनको थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, थोड़ा इनको टाइम देना, राइट? आज के लिए इनको आप
Maybe
जब once they'll join
at
IIMI
least
and they'll call you Parnika.
don't call me ma'am. Okay.
चलो ठीक है, इनको आप मैम मत बुलाओ, इनको आप Parnika बुलाओ, right?
Yes.
Very nice approach. So Parnika, I have to leave session because I have some other engagement. So I would request you to lead the show. मैं आपको host appoint कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है? So I have just made you the host. So बारी-बारी सब लोग जो है Parnika को अपना introduction दो. And after that, Parnika, you're supposed to tell your small story, how you reached,
Mhm.
where you reached. And after
Yeah.
that, we can start with the interview. So we have Rudra Pratap, we have Poojan, Yashi, Vinay, and Parijat. We have 5 interviews. We can wrap up in the next 1 hour. Exactly, with the feedbacks. 8 minutes per interview, 8 to 10 minutes per interview, and then 1 minute feedback, positive and negative both. All right? चलो, great guys. So I think Rudra, Vinay, Parijat, and Poojan, इसी order में अपना वो दीजिए, परिचय दीजिए फटाफट. All the best guys, take care.
Good evening, Parnika. My name is Rudra Pratap Nirvana. I'm a resident of Jaipur, and my long-term goal is to open a cafe specializing in coffee.
Hi, Rudra.
Hi, Parnika. This is Parijat here, and I belong to Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. And currently, I am working as a business development executive in one of the event management firms, Synix Group in Mumbai.
Nice. Hi, Parizad.
Good evening, Parnika. My name is Poojan Upadhyay. I'm from Junagadh, Gujarat, and I have done my bachelor's in hotel and tourism management. And I have about 11 months of work experience. And in my free time, I like to play football, table tennis, and read some books.
Hi,
Thank you.
Poojan. Nice to know you.
Hi Parnika, my name is Vinay Dayama and I am from Sri Ganganagar, Rajasthan. I did my graduation in 2021 and I also have approx 9 months of work ex in a manufacturing company as a sales and service engineer. And in my free time, I love to watch stand-up comedies.
Nice to know about you, Vinay. I think all of you are done with the your introduction.
Yes.
No one remaining, right?
Huh.
Okay, so my name is Parnika. I am from Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. So talking about my journey, it started not 3 years back, but I think I would say 5 years back, when I fought with my parents to go for a professional course rather than going for a conventional course like BSc and etc. Because that's what which I did not want to do. And after that, I went for the BBA and I convinced them somehow that I don't want to go in a government job. So when I talk about our parents' aspirations, they want most of us to go for a government job, but that's what something that I did not want to do. So from the beginning, I really wanted to move out of my comfort zone, my city, and I wanted to explore what's going on in the world and move out of the small city called Kanpur. So that has been my motivation throughout my life. Whether it was cracking cat, whether it was going into an IIM, behind everything, this was a motivation. So when you really want to do something in your life, it's very important that you have some kind of motivation behind, and it has to be very strong. So whenever you feel like giving up, it should push you up. That your aspiration should not get weak as you see yourself not achieving things as you were expecting them to be. So that was something that happened. That's how I went to my BBA college, and then finally from a faculty of mine, I heard about CAD, I prepared for it. And the biggest challenge for me was that my schooling has been from a state board and it was completely in Hindi medium. So there was a time when I went for my graduation, I was shocked and stunned to see people talking in English fluently, and I was seriously very, very bad in it because throughout my life, my entire education, reading, everything has been in Hindi, and that was quite a shift. But I realized that it's very important to adapt to some new language, like in English, especially in the current world of professionalism and corporate world. So that is when, in my graduation itself, I started to watch movies and do something to improve my English. And when I heard about CAT, so if I tell you my first incidents, I went through the book of verbal reasoning and reading comprehension, and I was like, oh my god, this is something that I cannot do. But then I saw my life again trapped in Kanpur, doing what other ordinary girls are doing. I just didn't want to do that. I pushed myself and I worked like really hard on reading and speaking English. And somehow CAT happened. I got the call, but again the a big challenge was how to convert these MBA calls that I had got, because the main problem for me was I was not have never been out of that small space called Kanpur, and people from all around the India had got the call, so I had to compete against them. I was very stressed out about this. So I discussed it with Sir that how do I proceed with it. I went through a lot of videos. I went through a lot of blogs. I just tried to identify how I can improve, how I can do better, and how I can convert the calls that I had. Because seriously, for me, giving up was not an option. It was just not an option. So I just had to move out, and that was my last chance, because my family was also, they were supportive, but at that point of time my family has also never been out of Kanpur, so they did not know about MBA and how can a life be after MBA. So that was like a last chance for me. I had to do it somehow. I took the help of my mentors. I took the help of Joshi sir, or to every person that I could have reached out, online, offline. I just tried to figure out my own things, how I can improve. And each and every time I was finding what mistakes I was doing, I tried to work on that. So that was the journey to go into IIM. Just taking consistent feedbacks from your faculty members who are around you, from your mentors, and then not giving up and consistently keep trying and hustling. Just don't give up. That was just the key. And after that, there has been whole series of challenges that came even after going into IIM, and that happens with everyone. That is going to happen every time. So the key is, once you learn not giving up, once you keep being consistent, and once you keep the believe in yourself kind of spirit, then it's going to happen. For if I can do it, if then everyone can do it. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Nice to hear that, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
It
Good
is
to hear.
actually very inspiring.
Welcome, guys, welcome. So yeah, so should we start with the interviews, or anybody would like to ask something? Anybody's having any kind of question?
Actually, I had one question. I just wanted to know that can you please tell about some job roles that we get after MBA? Because like a lot of times we are asked such questions in interviews, right? That if I'm looking for marketing, so what job roles can I say over there?
So I think the answer to this question is like there are multiple kind of roles that you can get. There are marketing, there is consulting, that is finance. So I think if none of you is having currently management background as of now, take your time to figure out. Just don't say that I want to go into marketing and take this role. I want to be a sales manager. I want to be a marketing manager. Nothing happens, in imagination. You will have to uh, try consistently. So the process of learning and exploring is something that is answer to this question. So for example, if you really want to go into marketing and that has completely pre-decided in your mind, then you must be having some reasons why do you want to go into marketing. For example, somebody just pointed out that business development is something that he has done, and that is now this person if says in the interview that I have done business development in the past experience, and that is why that was something that I enjoyed, and that is why I want to be a sales manager. This is something that makes sense. Now if you are not having, you are completely a fresher, you are not having management background, then like depends on person to person, then you cannot say that I want to be a sales manager just randomly. Otherwise, other thing, the other answer that you can give to this, that I want to do MBA so that in the first year I can completely understand what each and every domain is about. I want to understand strategy, I want to understand marketing, I want to understand finance, and basis of all these all my learnings on all my experience, I would be taking decision on what domain I would like to go for. So yeah, it depends on person to person, nothing specific I can tell about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. I hope that answers your question. Any other question anybody's having, or we should move ahead with the, mock interview?
अभी कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है मैम, तो अगर इंटरव्यू के बाद कुछ आएगा तो बताते हैं आपको।
अच्छा ठीक है, तो before starting, three things that worked very well for me were like I believed in myself, I was completely relaxed, and I was having a direction to lead the interview. So these were the three things that really worked really well for me, and I believe that this I would explain all these three things later, in the later part, after I'll be after I'll observe how what is your thought process in answering questions, and then we will move ahead. So just firstly, I would request you all to be relaxed and do not take any kind of stress, because I believe when you are stressed out, then you are not able to think properly. So relax. And the first question that I would like to ask is very basic and very simple. Tell me something about yourself. I would like to ask this question to Poojan.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Poojan Upadhyay. I'm from Junagadh, Gujarat, and the city is known for its famous Girnar mountain. In my family, there are 6 members, which includes my father, mother, my elder brother, sister, and sister-in-law, and her daughter. And I have done my graduation in Bachelor of Hotel and Tourism Management. During my graduation, I have received many awards like gold medal from the Saurashtra University for excellent performance. And I have participated in various games and tournaments. I have represented my college in different competitions all throughout. Also, same in my school time, I was second. I secured second rank in my class 12. So, and after graduation, I started working for different hotels and resorts for about 11 months. And then I'm preparing for MBA entrance exams and hoping to.
Okay, so was there any motivation behind you doing your graduation in tourism and your stream?
Yes, ma'am. In my childhood, I used to watch MasterChef Australia and MasterChef US. So that inspired me to get into do a professional course. I had science in my graduation, but I said that I don't want to go into the mainstream, which all the people used to, opt for either engineering or go for medical. So I thought that I would like to do something different, and I like to go into cooking. So I joined hotel and tourism management.
Okay, and where have you worked? You mentioned that you have some experience. So what was your work ex about?
My first job was at Plaza Premium Lounge, which is at IGA Airport, New Delhi. I used to work as a guest service officer at Plaza Premium Lounge, which include my daily front office operations or reception operations and food and beverage operations as well. It was a mixed job, and then later I quit that job in around 8 months, and then I joined the Oberoi Hotels and Tourism, hotels and resorts. It was the Rajvilas property at Jaipur, Rajasthan.
Okay, so how is MBA going to help you? Are you really willing to continue, as you mentioned that you have been having interest area in this hotel management domain? So now, how are you planning to take this ahead with MBA? How is MBA going to help you out?
As of now, I'm trying to, the one of the main reason to pursue an MBA is to have a change of scene. I'd like to tap into different industry, which would give me more opportunity as compared to typical or hospitality industry. So that is one of the main reason to do an MBA, and I'm sure that getting an MBA degree will help me, develop those skills which are required to enter into a completely new, different sector, new industries, and so that is my desire to, continue later in life.
Okay, thank you, Pujan. Thank you for the answers. So the next question I would like to ask, I'm going to ahead to the next person. Why MBA? I would like to ask this question to Yashashwini.
I completed my graduation last year, and since then, like I have had time to realize that what skills I need. I also searched for a job for jobs, but while researching, I found that there are a lot of skills that I need to learn that and also build upon. I did internships during my graduation, wherein I got to learn a few skills like communication and
So
sales.
sorry to interrupt you. What internships you did?
I did the 3 internships during my graduation. One of them was as management trainee, and 2 of them were as operations.
In what company and what was the role?
So in 2021, I did an internship with Ultradox. That was as management trainee. And in 2022, I did 2 internships. One was with Zone Media and one was with Lean Green. All of those are the startups that I worked with. So over there, I could learn skills like communication skills and management skills and how to do like very basic market research. I want to build more on that. And as my
So,
interest,
what was the work that you did exactly? It was for each and every internship you did market research, or like what was the things that you learned in terms of management? That's what I'm trying to understand.
okay. So in first internship that I did, so over there I got to learn how a company works. That was a very small startup that I was working with. So that was a B2B essential oil startup, and I got to learn like how to source from farmers and how to find buyers for your business. I was also responsible to make categories for them. Like it was essential oil business, as I mentioned. So there were a lot of different categories and which country it's used to supply the most, where we can source it from. Over there, and also I learned how to communicate my ideas properly. And in other internship, one was with Zone Media. Over there, I was working as operations intern. So I got to do the back end work for them. It was I'm sorry. It was like the Zone Media basically works for brand influencer marketing that works in that field. So we were used to categorize a lot of influencers, YouTube influencers, according to the work that they were doing, so that whenever a company approaches Zone Media, we were supposed to give them like the required people they could approach for their product promotions. And in Lean Green, I was responsible for logistics. So over there also I learned how to source, how to network, and I learned how to pitch the product to different buyers. And they were
Yeah.
also expanding in the D2C market. So I also learned how to work in logistics a lot. And after that, I have also done a certification course from NCFM, and that was based on finance. So I got to learn the basics of stock market and financial markets and derivative market. after that, I realized that I'm very much inclined towards marketing. I am a very creative person by nature, so and I also like to read a lot about marketing campaigns that different companies are doing right now. So I want to learn more on that skill so that I can. MBA will help me understand how to analyze the market and how to create campaigns that would attract the largest customer bases, and also to network. MBA will help me network with best people and people from diverse background and from the alumni that have been in the institute before, and also I'll get to learn from the industry experts. So that is the reason I want to do MBA.
Okay. So I think your answer is good, Yashashwini. One thing I would like to recommend that the internship that you're mentioning, you are mentioning more about what you have learned. But if you mention what was your contribution, for example, if you mention that I was able to convert a very good, a good influencer with good number of followers in a good number of in less amount of money, and this helped the company to create brand awareness, or you did sales of some around 10,000 or something like that. If you
Yeah.
can show what was your contribution, what was uh, how you helped the company, that would help you better. So although I understand that it's the why MBA question that you are answering, but I'm telling you this because if you have mentioned these three internships in your CV, then there is a possibility that the interviewer might cross question you that what was your contribution. So
Okay.
your why MBA answer is sorted, but my feedback is just to be thorough with your CV and just show what you contributed.
Okay.
Thank you, Yashaswini.
Thank you.
So, hi Rudra, I'm going to ask you one question on what are your strengths and weaknesses.
Ma'am, my strengths include discipline, punctuality, and adaptability, ma'am. And my weaknesses include I tend to lose my cool in certain situations, ma'am.
Sorry, can you please repeat? I lost. What did you say? Your strengths are punctuality and
Discipline and ma'am, adaptability. And my weaknesses are one of them is at least I tend to lose my cool in certain situations, ma'am.
so. Can you give me one example of any of your strength, any of your strength when you have showed it and it has helped in your professional life? For example, you have showed punctuality somewhere and it has helped you in professional life, or other true strengths that you have mentioned. And one incidence of weakness where you have gone through some kind of negativity just because of you lost your temper.
Ma'am, regarding my strengths, ma'am, I've been only been using them in my personal life and including college because I don't have any work ex, ma'am. Regarding discipline, ma'am, I have a set schedule.
College is somewhere is the part of professional life. Why do you think these strengths are your strengths? How has it helped you?
Ma'am, during my college, ma'am, I was suffering from medical issues, but even though I was doing engineering, it was already hard enough for me. So I was disciplined enough to put the number of study hours that I had decided into engineering so I could pass with the good numbers at least,
Mhm.
even though I was suffering from medical issues. Regarding adaptability, ma'am,
No, you don't
um,
have to explain all
regard
three. Just one was enough. What
mm,
about the weakness? Like, why do you think losing your temper is a? Has it ever happened with you that you have lost your temper and you had to go through some loss in your professional life?
ma'am, regarding losing my temper, ma'am, I generally stop before I go into action. I have that kind of control over myself because I consider that the tendency to lose cool shows immaturity and a certain amount of aggressiveness, which is not good and is a toxic behavior which can ruin relationships, both personal and professional, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, are you doing something to overcome your weakness?
Yes, ma'am, I do meditation 1 hour each day.
Okay. Is it helping you? Are you feeling some changes?
Absolutely, ma'am. I tend to remain calm even though things generally don't go my way whenever they do. And I mean, I don't react to a situation, I respond. There's a difference between reaction and response, and I choose to respond in a orderly manner. I
Okay.
don't explode.
So, thank you, Rudra, for the answer. My feedback is have some kind of incidents to substantiate your strength and weakness. So, for example, weakness, if you are when you were not having some incidents to quote why, even if you are not having some, just try to build up some stories, just try to think what has happened in your college. Just mention some kind of example so that I can rely upon and I can rely that these are your actual strengths and actual weaknesses. This is not something that you have written just in paper. And also, if I'm asking you what are your strengths and weaknesses, don't answer this question in just two statements. Uh, just build up some story around it, or I mean, you need to have some little explanation on this. Uh, so I think this was the question for strengths and weaknesses. I would like to ask next question to Parizad regarding what are your hobbies?
Good evening, Parnika. So, talking about my hobbies, I like watching movies and listening to music. And in my free time, I love to write some Hindi poetries of mine. And I love to, hang out with my friends.
So can you write some poetry? I mean, not write exactly, at least, um, just any poetry that you have written. Can you please present that?
Yeah, so I wrote one poetry just, I believe, a month back when I was fully free. So that was in Hindi, and the title was Akela Hu Main. So I'm not able to recall right now. So I have to see that. If you can kindly allow me, that will be really grateful.
You mentioned that you have written the poetry.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even I have written it on my social handles also. So, yeah.
So you're saying you are not able to recall the writer's name?
No, actually, I have written like in my own words only. But right now, I'm not able to recall that.
Okay. And again, the other hobby that you mentioned, you like to watch movies.
Yes.
So, what movies you have watched recently?
Recently, I watched Pathan.
And do you watch movies or web series also?
Web series also, but generally I prefer a Hindi web series. And like talking about the Western ones, I have watched only Game of Thrones and none of the.
Okay. So, and what is your favorite movie?
Um, my favorite movie as of now was War, which was a 2019 action movie.
Why? Why do you think it's why is it your favorite movie?
Uh, Talking about that movie, I believe first of all, the looks of Hrithik Roshan were really great, and the action sequences which were there of Hrithik and Tiger and other stuntsmen who were there, that was also really great. And especially, I like the bike chase scene which was there in
Mhm.
the second part. So that for me, like that made the movie the best part, and there were some twists and turns also in between. So that was really great. So that's why I like that movie.
Okay, thank you, Parizad, for the answer. Um, Again, the feedback remains that if you are mentioning that you have some hobby, see, I was also doing this mistake. Write your actual hobbies that are genuinely your hobbies. That is why I came up with the answer of doing makeup. Because seriously, I was not able to figure out what hobbies to mention. I like to cook, I like to do social work, but I really needed to add something more to it because social work was something that I was mentioning as an interest area. So I just if you're saying that you like to write something, then please be prepared because if you are going to say that you do poetry, definitely the next question they are going to ask is present something that you have written, or
Yeah,
they might ask you to write it right now. So this happens with people. They mention their hobbies, but once cross questions are asked, uh, they get stuck. So
Actually,
Another
I
feedback.
yeah, I write a couple of poetries, and that was the reason I was able to recall that one title which I recently wrote.
Yeah.
So
So from the next
yeah,
time,
I will work
learn
on that.
learn
Yes,
what
sure.
you have written. Remember one poetry that you have written. Just remember that, so that if they are asking you to write something right now, you can write whatever you were having in your mind. Or they ask you to sing a poetry, then you can sing it immediately. You should. It should not happen in the interview, actual interview. That is my
Right,
intent. And
right,
also, if you are mentioning that you like to watch movies, I would recommend. I don't know, the perception might vary from person to person, but if you would have said something that was inspirational, I would have been little more impressed. For example, if you had mentioned uh, some uh, uh, some biopic on some scientist or some famous person who has inspired you in life, then I think I would have been more impressed, because if you are mentioning war, I take it as something that you like to do it for entertainment. But if you mention something, that some any inspirational movie, I would think that this is the person who is actually learning something from his hobbies. So these are the feedback, and also I would like all of you to be very very thoughtful about the hobbies that you are going to mention, because uh, whenever you mention something, they are going to ask you question on that only. If you are going to say that you like reading books, they are going to ask you who is your favorite author. If you mention that you like to cook, then yeah, they are going to ask you what is your favorite cuisine or something like that. So your hobbies, on the cross question or on hobbies, is going to be what you are going to mention. And each and everything that every interview is going to be directed towards each and every word that you put in your CV and you mention during the interview. So be very very conscious about each and everything that you are saying. I think Vinay, you are left.
Yes, ma'am.
So how are you, Vinay?
I'm fine, ma'am. What about you, ma'am?
I'm also good. So, I would like to ask you just one situational question. What is the biggest failure that you have faced in your life, and what have you learned from?
Ma'am, biggest failure of my life from my college, ma'am. Uh, I was in first year when I saw many players or students are going for intra-IIT tournament. Then started a career like a college plan that I will start a hockey club, so that I also able to go for intra-IIT tournament. So in very first year of my college, I started hockey club. So I was a coordinator and a captain of my team. So we started the team with 3 players, and in second year we were 15 players. But when we go to a college admin or a sports authority to give us official badge and allow us to join participate in intra IIT, they like denied the proposal, because they said you just started the club a few months before, and we can't spend more money on your team to go on officially as an intra IIT Dhanbad. So that we also participated in Sparta IIT BHU. So for not qualifying in inter IIT 2019 batch of sports meet was my failure, because I was not able to convince my sports authorities that we are able to participate and can win a medal for our college.
Okay. So, and what did you learn from this?
Exactly, ma'am, that I was not able to convince them. In my second year, I was not like too fluent in English also, and at the same time, I was not having the potential team to showcase them that we have some national players. Either we have 2 to 3 players that played national level hockey, but we are not enough players to showcase them that yes, we have potential to fight against other IITs where we can like we can. we can win the match and make our college feel proud. So that was my
But you
weakness.
had qualified the previous round, then why the college was not convinced? I think it was not your failure, but something that management did not want to contribute into.
No, actually, ma'am, I said after 2 to 3 months, we participated in Sparda, IIT BHU Sport Fest. Then